Mr. Bazara Nyangabiaki Sibia Kololo. Irena Jazz Band New version.
Akiki katwenteke Kugonza koburo wa mwiko Wagezire Nairobi Kasigaranye samirire Kanyine kauriza kasanja
Mr. Poloti, Mr. James, Mr. William
Nyamura nyowe
Mr. Magesi
Lerombe mgenyoha Kamwaine wende takurora hakiki wange
Atwenteke TVR Studio Kampala Center
Kihubaro kiri haihi okunyita Tinkunywa kurinzire hakiki wange
Atwenteke Masindi Kahara
Nyamura nyowe
Inyara Oima
Lerombe mgenyoha Kamwaine wende takurora hakiki wange
Atwenteke
Kihubaro kiri haihi okunyita Tinkunywa kurinzire hakiki wange
Atwenteke UTV Kampala
Oh, hakiki wange Kugonza koburo bwa mwika kiki Kaguza kwijadu Kampala Ekimaza kikuwe Akiki katwenteke Kugonza koburo wa mwiko Wagezire Nairobi Kasigaranye samirire Kanyine kauriza kasaju
Adisijo Mamanyeli
Nyamura nyowe Lerombe mgenyoha Kamwaine wende takurora hakiki wange
Atwenteke
Kihubaro kiri haihi okunyita
Webale muno kuba ochali ha Fort TV webale kuturora webale kutuliza webale kuba mnaito webale kugonza Fort TV nambere tikara tusemerirwe nyenchenu nabona kutangira no muhimbo mwingi muno ninyonga ndani yawe Hamilton Superhost kandi entekaniza My Planet Friday no ebiro kwezi bibiri okwezo kwa kabiri omwaka 2024 kandi mukasumkano Friday niye kumalirayo obu abege batakagarukira mu masomero ekirumanisa Friday kwija abege no itakuba already bali mu masomero akuwa Friday kwija itakuwa ebiro kwezi mwenda kandi ebiro kwezi bitano balaza o Monday abege itakuwa bagarukire mu masomero ntabweki ningoza okuramucya no kusemera kwingi kandi no kusima emirimo okora kandi no kusaba okujicho wijicha mbito of course okimanyire ngo abege bakwana bagaruka amasomero abana ne bagaruka amasomero kurwa makoko binge kwa nibyetagisa binge kusemera korwa abo kwetekaniza ekinteje ekikuru muno hanyuma okuramucya no kusima no kutangira nyenkeno aba slogan ebigambo kutwebembera mukanura kwaitu kwa nyenkeno abo Friday kirikino ati birokwezi bibiri one earth one chance one earth one chance tuine sehemu yonka ngomgiso gutine nikibanisaki tuine kurora ngo twagrolera kurungi nkemboni yeriso eryo kurora no lirole really one of the most delicate parts of the body, very delicate, soft, and by nature that's what it is, and every part of it is very delicate. Hati akanyunyuza korkorama kakwiragura kahagati ako kakuru muno kakwa nikesitara no tunge bizibu mukurora. habo buli obo naitu ensi enu eri nkemboni yeriso kiri kintu ekyokwerinda noro glass noro lihulie kakoliteka ameza hano ukatandika kwehaho ikitambara kakino siko tutalikwatiriire kagwanzi kulihaho liriyo mezi mugisa gwa mani muna kasima karikaro wing nirigwe nirukarake niyateka neriso nicho kimu kutera makantu kasongwere nikagumangene kakabali rundiki nisiskara ekintu kyone kyo muhendo kifibwa kutebwa kitinisa kirolererwa kurungi habuka nomanya mugaso gwacho obutosa mbaza nenywe nibagama ngo obunkuba nimbaza ha planet earth home planet nikibaza nikiruga mu mutima munda omubongo mbitekerezo musagama mubiri musoyina magufa munyama zo mubiri hona habukuba no bomezi otena planet earth tena bomezi kandi obwecyaroho ito hakire muchoka kino necyalindwa kurungiho ecyarolirwa kurungiho mugisa gwa mani muno mugisa gwo kweyongera kuomera kwaitu habukuba etaroho tutukomera tutaroho neyomera. I'm talking about my planet. So show yenu esemere kuba kichweka cy'obumezi bwabo mulingo gwona kandi kakomwa nokufayo kwingi muno nokwecumitirizo kwingi habokuba nubo kwetorohoro kagirota bojo somo tasomero koleki ugiro oja kwesanga you are part and parcel of this planet earth. So hati nyowe nkokundu kimanya kurungi kandi komerera nicho nagambire ngu yange naje kwata niwe je kwata itwena tuje kwata obuntu kuje kwata nkagamba my planet tinkumanisa ngunyo hati ngambiri otabamu rundi toro tinyo nobo busobozi kandi nkusemera kwekora abokuba itwena ntetaga tubebomezi asiten. So one earth one chance echo tukalege tukijuka by passion not by fashion but by passion ekakitaye mbomezi wetu kimanyisachi kimanyisa ensetu tugirwanirire go tosa kugirinde kurungi nuko naye tulinde tuli kurungi tegonze tusemerwa 40 TV hakuba tuli on planet earth. Super Host Hamilton kutangirire kugondeza muno nko kugonza tosa kandi hati nko kumbere maze kugambira wiki kwija Monday balaza abege nbagaruka amasomero hati mu bigambo ebikebe kwenda okubazaho omukacheka kana ko kubanza nja kubigamiza hakwega kusoma kwa begi abagaruka mu masomero nasobora kugamba abana nasobora kugamba begi ngamba begi kwetantara ensonga ngo harumu nabegi nabantu abandi abakuru abakusoma ndio mali babekana n'abasoma nabweki hati kugamba ngo abana bagaruka mu masomero hati mukuru nawe nagaruka mu masomero hati obo yorene muno to the extent that uwe na buramu kandi ubarku buramu no mugarwire harengo rubana tigalimana ngo abana bonka no basoma abegi abemyaka yon baba begi nibasobora kusoma beto amana nugali nguko okusoma bakutandika bacyali bato itwena nambe tasomire rulengo rokubanza we had to be children kacyali bana tukatira kwa cyali bana twagenda tukura hati umuntu arobagenda atamazire kurungi kusoma kombwire asanga bundi na koze sobwiro bundi hanyumaho kugenda kusoma habo bukuru bwo kusoma nabwe kabwe nsonga yo kusoma education egituginire its quote nyenkeno tune bigambe rukutananata mu discussion aid mukubagana ibitekerezo hakusoma kono ntakagambire bigambe ebyo that quote ningonza nkwijuke the interested parties or the parties involved or the stakeholders involved, the central stakeholders in education. Abakuru abali mu nsonga no education abarikubaza nabo nyenkyeno nimbaza na government had ngozona kutandikira government ya hagati Kampala, that is the central government, nambere kitebe kurukiri ministry nambere yebyenyegesa nemizano head government kakweta kora kurungi kichaka cyayo ebyokwega rundi kusoma obwihanga tibikurugamu tibikukora tibigenda maiso. It has to do its part effectively nuko ebintu sore kusoboka. I will address that. I will share with you the government at that level, but also down to local governments in the areas where we find ourselves. As I told you earlier in other show discussions, I said that this show is bilingual. Bilingual meaning you may find me using English, you may find me of course, in most cases using my natural language, vernacular, or Nyoro for that matter. So don't get upset, say I'm mixing the languages. Yes, it is deliberate, because I know there's some individuals or some people, communities or society members who need to be brought on board once in a while, here and there, by dropping in a few words that catch up with their understanding. Those people don't easily understand our dialect here. So that's the reason, part of the reason actually, why I have to mix in a little bit of English. And the good news is that most of our people in this community also know and enjoy English. So I would be starving nobody in that direction, and I would be annoying nobody. And so, but I also know that there are those that may find it a little bit difficult to catch up with me when I go English completely or 100%, and that's the reason you find me dropping back to our roots and culture of the language. So nimbaza na government ya hagati abyo okusoma rundo kwega omwihanga lino tamu yokubanza mwaka guno omushaka kumbiwa binena egenda kutandika balaza. Nimbaza n'abazaire abakwa abazaire nambere batali abegiti balo abegi bazarwa bali bana ni bazarwa abazaire, kandi abazaire first of all batuha abegi batuha abana, ekyakabiri basagika amasomero kuraba mukusagika abana babo mbyetago bya masomero, kandi barolera abana mu mulingo gwona oba batali amasomero, kandi bakole kichoka koto kwalinda bali kurungi nuko babatuhege mukasomera ko kusoma. Omuzaire is a very key stakeholder, actually the central stakeholder, the most important stakeholder in this aspect. Government osobora kubaho bitotene bege otene bazaire bokuha bege, it becomes difficult for you to run the Ministry of Education and Sports. The other stakeholders nja kubaza na amasomero tine school administration, tine head teacher, tine teachers, n'abakonyeza abandi mu masomero omu nabo ntubaza nabo ansonga eno yabege garuka mu masomero. Tujja kubaza n'abegi bonyine, the learners, because they are the reason we are talking about this. Without the learners, you don't talk about schools, you don't talk about education, because the learners are a central element in the learning process. So the learners are the core aspect of our discussion. Njakubaza kataito na community members abantu tababulikiro omubyaro kunamera bege bakuruga omumakoko habyaro hamiruka amagombora abantu itababulikira bakwikara mbikale. We are the local community members. Others enjoy calling them the locals, and for me, say local community members. I'm comfortable with that better than the other. So, but also, I will not forget to address the media. My colleagues in this industry, the media are a key element or key stakeholders in this very process of education. And you know, the one discussing now, I'm on the part of the media right now. Although I have other quotes of the parent, of the leader, and all this other stuff. But the most important element I will address is to talk to the media about this aspect. But now the quote goes, education is one thing no one can take away from you. Education is one thing no one can take away from you. These words were said by Ellen Nordegren. Ellen Nordegren, we shall discuss this individual at some point, we shall share ideas about this individual, was fundamentally an educationist and interested in education, supporting education by all standards, by all means. So he loved education and discovered that many other things can be taken away from you, but education is resident in you. It's resident in you. The one who takes your education is the one who finishes up your life. So, but as long as you are living, as long as you are alive and you have your education, it is within you, it is with you. So you can easily employ it to do things that you need to do using this tool of education. And so we need to treasure education. I'm addressing the learners, my friends, the parents, the government, and everyone else, plus the media fraternity, that education is key. Education is an element, education is a thing that you must treasure, you must always hold dearly, you must always cherish, you must always, keep in sight, keep in sight. And I think I want to believe that I'm here because partly of education. Running a show like this one with no, trace of education within you is difficult. Not because the management doesn't want to give that job, but even if they did, if you don't have any trace of education with you, it becomes difficult for you to put across the message. First of all, to have the message itself. I mean, where do you start? How do you generate the message? How do you think about it after all? How do you critically arrange your stuff or your material to deliver across? So education is key, and that's why we are saying and encouraging everyone to understand this, always to remember it, that education is one thing that no one can take away from you. But you need to utilize that thing within you profitably to benefit you, to benefit the family where I belong, your community, the entire society or the country, actually globally, because this is a global village. So we shall need to be educated, educate ourselves and educate other people, and we exploit that resource of education to cause or to contribute towards overall development, social, moral, economic, political, you name it. So education is central, and so it is an element that no one can take away from you. So meaning that if there are other things that you need to acquire or to possess, one of them, the most key, is education, because it is going to be permanently resident within you, regardless of age, place, and whatever that happens around you. So treasure education. So njokurora abazaire nibecho akahamweko abana ndabegi bagende basome habokuba nje kisumuruzo kyenkurakurana yensi kisumuruzo kyeka obokuba ina abana begere rundi basomere omukaho nombikale bindi ndomanya ebintu bino byakutalwaniza habo akasumi beitu obwire buhika abantu banotonge byo gukora uko abine bitekerezo ebisengizire ebihesirwe kurungi ebiri kusoborokerwa esobora kukole kintu hati norwa nambere nkubaliza hano in Fort TV here. This facility is not here by accident. Someone educated out there thought about this and eventually planned and effected the instituting of this facility. So it is because of education that this facility is in place. It is here because of education. Somebody had some good education to cause this to happen. Because first of all, the critical thinking about this and its benefits and its uses and how to install it and the mechanism surrounding it requires education. Kwegesiwa kikuru muno obusumi bwona kokumbagambira bagenzi bange nywena iwarukundo no ampulirize ha Fort TV no bikale bindi ngo nyowe ndekaragani mwegi obubezi bwange obwona ngumyoroka liega na myaka 10 ego nyikara ninyega buli kiro, not necessarily in a classroom or in a lecture hall, a lecture room, a lecture chamber, not necessarily just burying my head in books full time, not necessarily all those other things, but partly yes, but partly not, because learning environment is all over the place. Twine bikaro bingi byokwegeramu n'ebintu bingi byokwega mbomezi bwa bulikira turukwikara kandi no mbikali turukoramu na materekera gaturugendamu kozesago mugisa gwono buli momezi kugira kintu kwa yega kako kwe nikisoboka bulikiro yegayo ekintu to kwetaga byo mbitabu byonka cyonka yege kintu cyona kurga mbomezi kurga munyikara ekikare cyo kwikaramu abantu kwikara nabo imhandi yokurabamo ebikara byo kubungamu orukujja na horukora hali isomo hali amasomo those existing elements materials and the rest, but also your fellow human beings. Abantu bakone babaza nechumitiriza bugambe barikubaza kandi nechumitiriza nambe rugirire mbitekerezo byabo ejo nikukonyera bukore nechumitiriza osomereho kandi no cyayongera kusoma kubanya bisa muntu asobora kubaza kigambo akasumya akakiro bwingi atakitekerezeho kukibaza bike munde bisobora kusomoka abantu ko kubagamba ayi cyamusomoka ma cyagera kitamanya mbenta gererire man. so bitu ebicoka cyenda kikumi tubanza kutekereza ecyo genda kubaza nicyo genda gukora ukitekerezaho umulingo gumurunyo gunyo osokuta kitaho muno mutima kikumi hakindi bitu at least ukitekerezaho boje hati yo burkuta kutekereza no bazake hati nicyo batugambira ubundi osokubaza ikintu kitaliyo kitakwica kurunyo gamba bitu tubanza ukatekereza utakabalize. So think before you talk, that's what we say always, and we usually do what we have thought about and we have been planning on to do. So education hati kike kinu kubaza hali government igwaza kugisima first of all habo kutwara institution ekitongole kinu nkekikuru muno ekitongole kibenyegesa nkekikuru muno kukitaho kukisagika kukikonyera kukimucha kutwara maiso kuombeka amasomero mu ihanga kutaha intekanizo yo kwegesa abegesa training of teachers, that's what I'm talking about, kwegesa abebembezi kusagika amasomero kutama ibyo kukozesa no nebindi nkebe. That's good for the government, and I for one appreciate, and I think many more other people appreciate. However, we need to do things consistently because education is a process of learning. Therefore, every other time, every other step, at every other point, there are some requirements. You need to keep replenishing the supply lane of the requirements of the education system or department or industry, if you want. So, meaning that the government is encouraged to always make sure that there are no gaps in the education system, that all requirements may not necessarily be 100%, but making an effort to make sure that you leave no chances around effective education. Government butunansibwa mbwayo kurorangu okwega kwabeki kwekaraho nugena maiso kuraba mukutaho emikore nebiragiro ebirananata kwebembera kuterekereza ebyenyegesa kurungi policies regulations ebikwita kukonyera ebyenyegesa kugenda nibiba byomugaso ate cyo kurora hano mu Uganda ukwega kwaito kurikiro bwingi cyo kansanya na bitana kikumi kurikwegesa kuli theoretical kali no soma no kweza sobongo no tegereza bintu no kora bintu ebimu nebimu bita kusoma kurikiro bwingi. The hands-on or practical education is having some gaps here and there, and so that's why no sange bintu kurikiro bwingi mu ihanga muno tutukubiye kora ntubanza kusera aba China kusera aba Hindi kusera abantu abandi kujya kukora ibintu bikebike no na makoro ubundi amataito kandi hatyaro n'ibindi byalemere kukora tuina kubigura nkaheru nkoku habo kuba ebyenyegesa byitu birumu some gaps. So hati ubabyonaje wa government kwecumitiriza hamulingo gwa ebyenyegesa bigenda maiso mu ihanga ne etekanizieta negesa okwegesa kwayo nukuha omwegi obusobozi bwo kumanya no kwetegereza no kwecumitiriza no kukozesa amagezi ginaga gali mbuhangwa negakonyerwa kusindikirizibwa ko kwega kuno kandi nikisobora kumurugirwa mu kukora ekintu akakikora akakiturucha akakiteka hali omulingo gwona kintu kiti ofire baitu okwegesibwa kuno kujya kumkonyera to facilitate putting food on the table. Kijya kumusozesa at least okurora nkabulikiro rundi mu wiki rundi mu kwezi yagire cyakozere cyamuletera ntasha okurugira mukwegesibwa kuyatungire mu matendekero rundi mu masomero. Hati icyo nikisigikira ntekaniza yebyenyegesa nko ku government yakubitekaniza. So tugamba runingamba on behalf of other people so ngu systematic education government ina kwikara negiroramu nesemezamu updating it to make it more effective, more productive, more practical, more beneficial. And I think that one is extremely important, but also too tools and requirements that are basic, that are necessary. Bina kwikara nibizoka mulingo gwona. Koko bindi birikuzoka byatongole bindi ebyenyegesa bizoka. Habo kuba ebyenyegesa nicyo kisumuruzo cy'ibitongole bindi byone bisigaire. Genda ministry genda mukitongole cy'ibomezi. Uje kusanga nibahandika ibintu mu Rungereza nibabaza Rungereza ibintu embaze babasindikire handikirwe ibintu bya Rungereza kandi n'ebintu byone bari kukora system zona z'Ikingereza z'Ekijungu petati nibabyetegereza habwokuba bakasoma so meaning that ngunyi nabo aba mu kitongole ky'ebyomezi it is education genda mu government departments ezindi zone genda mu byamakoro genda mu byokwerinda the top echelon education niyo yabafuire ekibali kandi in fact otugenda mu bwebembezi tuine mu abantu bengi abatatungiro hakire kisumunuzo cyo kwegesibwa mulingo gumurundi ogundi some good extent but bastanga nobulemezi hakuba nokorana nabantu konka kugumangana habokuba education yabane burwamu so ebyetago emisara rundi empera yabakozi mu kitongole abegesa kukira muntu hakuba directly no bakudilinga nabana baitu banu on a daily basis like it's going to be the case beginning with Monday kurugabwira bwanyencha paka rwebajyo omwegi no mwegesa bali hamu beto mwegesa kunasemera ko basemeriru akimanyire ngo kwezo kuraho empera yenija kuleta umutekaniza government akimanyire ngo obundi mulingo gumurundi ogundi asora kutunga akachaya kakanywe akimanyire ngo empera ikakubija neye yambere hakireho nawo mwana wo mwisomero lyone lyaru murundiri lyonyine ajja kuba nasoma takuja kuwikana bamugaromuka choka hata okusoma ngo ku masomero ga primary wetu mbyaro choka nisemera kubiro ebitabu byo kutekaniza mu masomo binakuru ebitabu byo kusoma textbooks binakwa biro nibyo kuyama masomo ebindi ebikwetagisa amasanyarazi sente zago zizoke mu masomero nabira kozesa computer na amaizi sente zago zizoke na kebindi nebindi kwetagisa other facilities or utilities if you wish so bibe facilitated na sente zirakongeraho mu byetago bindi mu isomero kusobozesa mukuru w'isomero n'abagezi babandi kwirukanganiza emirimo y'isomero no kusagika abakozi abanyakuri mu isomero so lorora financial resources material resources and other resources even technical resources including guidance ebyo niba nibyetagisa government kubikora kandi ekya government asemere kwebwa nuko kulinguzayo gakurorayo inspection and supervision kikuru muno tino rufumo witu mwengo kungu runo rutoro ndigenda kubaza olenge kurwekimitiza ko osora kuruhindura mulingo gundi ngo obohereka otaswire bakwetere emiguta otaswire kigambo otaswire ncho ngoza kumalisa kurunga okuyoso gamba kuswera marriage no I'm not talking about that ni malisa kusura is to check on something kakubohereka kugamba ente yawo okagisindika mwabnyano wawo ngwikaleyo ekure rundi zareyo obundi obunyaso enebuke rundi kikaro na kike nebigenderwe ebindi byone birumi kakomara kasumi otakugenda yoga niyo kugiroraho hati esobora kufa obundi mwakubera muhanurira bora ko ku erajanjabwa rundi asobora kufamu eyanyeneka wakwatena mutima murunge gobwesigwa nete nakweta nagambira ente yawe ufiro muguto gwe ente zikira kusana ezimu so ente yawe ufire kandi kuna ufire yawe ruhinezara kandi hati ubyafokaye hakote cyali yawe habokuba habwaki hobero takusura niko kusura mbene ngambo omanye ndo rulimi nyina kwikara ni fayo olimi ndkwasa nko mtoro kaswa kandi ko muntu akumanye byendimi nyina kwikara nindengaho kweterekereza beto no kukonyera newe ubundi ogira ko kuwakozesa kungo rulimi rwawo mukikara tukikara indimi tustabatabura no gamba kino gamba ngo yamanisa kino gamba kino ngo yamanisa kino so ncho kurora ngamba so ncho nikusabira government otosa kurora leta yogo kuguru mu materekero ku masomero okure ebintu nibigenda kurungi abokuba kakubasanga hari bitagenda kurungi muno no yakambisa no terekereza no kwataniza n'abarukora no yongera kubole ko bulyo rundi enkiro ebintu bigenda kurungi tingamira ngo gendo bakunganizo bajumo chomero koleki ondi oraranjo kingeho no hati nyo haro bumpuniro bumpura some statements coming from the government of course I'm doing analysis, I'm not attacking the government, but I'm saying sometimes the statements we make do not motivate people to do work. They rather demotivate them. Yes, they derail them even. Ngwati omuraba mutagenda kwegesa nja kubabingira kimu ndeta abantu bandi begese. Kandi ukano baleta kwegesa abantu bakijja mubata. You know, before you talk really need to think. suppose neka ku oli office yao kuyiwa kugambe hati nayo mkuru wake akagamba iyo baratakora kurungi nyenye njya kuleta umuntu ndi akole. First of all iwenka mu mikore yawo akubaze bwambebe no otabandize I think kwechumitiriza ekirukumara nsongege erundi oina orutambu oruotaratire kara no rotakutera hati kuterekereza enyikara ya emirimegi nkoko esemire kwa again sabo bulyo kuha omugisa na amani abarukora nuko kubasagika nebigambo nebikorwa nebikwato bakakora omulimo kagenda mai. So inspection is very important, supervision is very important, but also encouragement kwekambisa kusagika to facilitate education. So I've said much on that, and ntekereza kikuru muno because the government is the key stakeholder in this. Nina resources kwetagisa tugiha resources tugiha emisoro tugiha byo kukoze segende bitekaniza kurungi mu bwingi bwabyo miringo yabyo mu kugabamu mu bitongole bitalibimu naitwe education etuteramu ebiratwonyana cyonka amahanga garukira bwingi mu Africa tegarukutamukira kumara mu byenyegesa bino nicyo kurora ntukira kuburwa obuherezo bwakwere nubaho okusikira kwegesa kwaitunko kukuli abakugwa baturucha tabarkumara mbintu mu bitongole bikiro bwingi hata umuntu na ubakwa itungo bamuriche bamutwara Aga Khan Hospital Nairobi, bamuriche bamutware India apokuba harwire India Aga Khan amaruhara go bakagakora bata abafumu abarumuni bakora bata embazi no ikora bita bikibi tibisobore bitasokwe gesibwa ko mu Uganda cyo korora kandi abantu ba Uganda nabo kabantu kabali no bongo babwine no kusoma no sokusoma bali barabatera musente nito twitemu kandi tuziteka obundi tutakwetegereza kurungana na mbere hatu kwiteka obundi kirkonyera beingi. That's what I want to say. Okay, so stakeholder number 2 I wanted to talk to is a parent. Ngonza kwanza kusima mzairi of course habwa omugisa bit overall ni simaranga omugisa okurora omuntu yaba mzairi kisembo mbaba za ruhanga uko haroho omusajja n'omukazi n'abasweranga ina bali tibine bana tibakuza abandi bagenda ndagamba kugeza kora kutunga abana na batazaire cyonka babete bana babo adoption echo kiro bitukuru umwana mwezalire kurwa munda yaho ndumbomezwa musagama yaho no kusimira ruhanga. So abaziri ngonza kubasima mwebali kuzaraga mwebali kurora kukuza kulisa kunyisa kujweka kurolera kujanjaba kikurumuno bitati hakitoke cyakasatke mwebali omutamu amagezi ebitekerezo obwire no mutima nengozi nebikwato ndekoza sibo okuromana agena mu isomero ajoire kurunga mulingo gwona omulingo gwona tingambire nakuba muguda ekingenaho ngo agendere musutu naki no musobozese atazoka kubi musobozese okutunga ebar kumusaba isomero mulingo gumurundo gundi barabtaro mubwire ndo mbwijire baza nabo they are not robots, they are fellow human beings like you. Talk to the administration obumbere enchali ninja sobar kuongera kuba ndimwe bembeze masomero agataligamu abutebe okwembera masomero nka PTA or board akasuma kakiro bwingi omasomero kubagara yabegi mukabo kuba abazire tebakora follow up tebakugenda ya masomero kusoboro bakuba bacyale mesibwe mu ndibakererirwe kugamba mu misirize ni nkora kino na kino kurora na hikirizo bujunanizibwa betu obutagendayo abo misomero tebamanya gwe no bujunanizibwa kurungi bamanya okabiruga harundiki ni bakutomato garukamu ni bakwita to kuija so bakusindikira umwana wao gendo kale nawo hati yotandika kukungana omukoko omwana bamubinga nyo betu bakabakiba nangwa le utaka kungaine wetegereze endugire omwana kumukusindikira yego ni imani hari abantu amasomera ganda mbere batakugumisiriza muno baso kumusindika bwangu buli kasumi beta wakiro wingi bagumisiriza beta okemanye ngo ebyo kusindika yebyo nibijja ko nibikonyera hisomero kurora omwana wawe yasomera munyikale nungi so kakubota kora contribution ejo nibaba bakwijucha sometimes the hard way by sending back the kid or the child or the learner, which is not good for the learner because that time that gap, that lapse will affect the whole process of learning of that individual and one or the other. So abazire commitment ni cyayitagisa engozi zanyu abana banyu ndahabegi banyu zetagisa kwechoka hamweko kweyangisa sacrifice. You know, educating is sacrificing. Yes. Ngoko kiri no mbitongole bindi byona. So nengozi zetagisa no kwataniza nabo mu isomero cyatagisa koleko mwegi omwana wawe ngozi okamusagika kaba comfortable with the learning nakyo nikyetagisa kale ngondeza kwa sima abazaire okubekambisa like now this Monday ebike biraba biroho kubogenzire karahurundi ukagenda no mwegi ukasobora nibasobora kutandikiraho oburabo ine bikumara well and good you can even facilitate ahead of time so kukora bayitebike ubukuba nibyo ine kirunge kubaza nabantu abo bakagumisiza bitu omwegi atakeire muno omuka kandi atekere na tumwa obwire bona kumufereza kwega. So I appreciate and I encourage you to do the best you can. The schools, the school administration, yes. Sometimes to shemera bakuru bamasome tugamba abana tebabagumisiriza. Beti no manya resources ezimu kakuwa zitabaho kurugomba zaire emirimo yindi terugenda mu maiso. Nicyo bunde twagambiraga abazaire abamu. Mwana manya fees mabikine bite bindi. Yes. Sente zebikuli abwake niba ubone bakyeta kubinga abazaire tukira kukyeta kubinga uko saliro mwana. Bamukutumire bamukusindikire mwana wao. Kubingwa mtu niko kumuya mkikaro cyo wabo rundi har kwikara okamusindika handi okunamira ubundi hatali wabo rundiki tinkumanya petatu bara kusindikira mwana mukate bambingira bisako yaba mutumire umulingo gumuri obundi kujya kutabara kwato ndi kwigica. So amasomero obuntu bajonana tubagumisiriza betaro busanga ebarakutuma hamuzeire omweki kuleta nibyo tagisa niwe bikoze sibo hati katugambe nka amasomero nambere hali kulisa bege hati oburkwita kumaro kwezi otakahire akasente kona kandi omwegi ogu aina kuba nali buli kiro hati byarkuli ebi nabiha amasomero gakurubwingi tegalimire government etera mu bundi sente kulimisa nabege twe na misiri habokuba gandi twe na mataka gandi gali mutabuni ko hati no genda kulimanka hati nekindi no haralimiro mwana wao kandi waralima no haramsasura hati mwana neje kuliyake omwegi neje kuliyake hati nasobora kumalebiro biri bisatu bena takalire hati bagumisirize kalo kwezi okubeta kusima akataitu kagamba bangu misirize bitatiwe kugenda kukungana. So sometimes I exonerate these administrators. How can you imagine what happens in the schools? I've been there, I'm always there. No, not simply as a guest or a visitor, but also as a leader, an administrator of some sort. But also ngonza kusaba abakuru masomero ebintu nimubirora we tuine resources kikumi hakindi newo mukayawe nka head teacher nko mwegesa na anta abandi horukuruga hariho gaps ezimenezimo nko okusaba muka bakugumisirize no mwisomero kuna hariho kureta gisibwa busumi obo kugumisiriza yego byetago bike ebinyakuro kandi nebikwetagisibwa kukora bingi kandi bikujya kukonya nizo resources kurugamba zaire kuraba mubegi beitaroho bukwetagisa kugumisirizamu. Do it the hard way, gumisiriza no ekambisa mzaire ja kusasura bitu nikyetagisa sometimes no kwirinda kutakozesa kalimikabi kujuma kuchomera kusindi ko kwendo busalira mzaire kuraba mu mwegi mu mwana nya kuli innocent abo kuba resources kumukonyera tali no arkuzijunaniza bwa kurora zabaho. So tunakwirinda kugumisiriza kimu ekyakabiri kutuma kurungi omwegi akasumi kora ketagisize kumutuma ko really obora wesiro mzaire tiyija ukora kinti yija weto takatumira omwegi kirungi kulenga kubazana mzaire akono yokuhira omwegi. So administrators ningoza kwa sima first of all to run these institutions ekyakabiri kubekambisa koranaga nabazaire akuba they are the key stakeholders abakwera abana ekyakasatu kugumisa nkagambire kukora nobwekambe bona no kwihanga kuona no kubaza to dialogue, discuss with the parents and other people. Definitely chakana when they go and get stuff omwana no sindikiro mzaire kumwekamisa kuleta yokoza sabitu ngoza kwa sima no kubekamisa no kubasa kugumisirizaga not only the administrators bitu nabegesa bitu kugumisirizaga miringo nyingi munemperekererirwe obusalizi bwabo leka transferinga kusindika hamwegi okanga kumwegesa ndo kabugaruka mukumbi ndo kamchomera hata abandi no kutera ni mutera kandi kuno kutera kukikizibwa amasomero betukhano kukekuko kwa amagezi kukikizibwa habo kuba egambirirwe tafayona spare the road, spoil the child. Yes, a little bit of spanking, small, but I'm not encouraging corporal punishment, but also deka obora bene kutalbanize kusalize ekinika kukimara hamwegi is innocent, very innocent. If anything, you are really very guilty if you do that. The other stakeholders takageze bukumrao, I'm looking at the learners themselves. You are the issue, you are the point. You are the big reason why we are discussing this. Omwegi is at the center of this business. Omwegi niwe nsonga nkuru muno nitubazaho byenyegesa. Obota kujayo okwegesa tukugena maiso. Obota kutaho umutima okwegesa tukugena maiso. Obota kukwataniza okabagwengeso kabamuhulizi okwegesa tukugena maiso. Niwe no sisikalirwa kandi oine koko kutalibaniza na institution. Oine koko kuteza umutima no kuletera obuganye no kusalirwa omuzaire wawe. Oine eventually warabo otasomesibwe tinugambo tegera uko nacho zo kutategereza bwango mulingo guno kyetakundi. Otasomesibwe ndo tegesiwe community yawe kutankira family wanyu no kuyongera mbiceke bindi tibari kujja kugasirwa kukwihamwe icyo mugaso muno rundi icyo muhendo. Nabatasomera habuyara ho bagasa cyonka haruho okugaso kundi kwa kwenu kukiraho umuntu ogu wakwera tungire okwegesibwa kukira hali okweine. Ya ningoza kusima abatasomere emirimo yitukora betu nabasomere obongeraho usanga ibintu byasemera no kukiraho. So nijja kuba uwo mugaso muno mu community oboraye kambo kasomo okagira obuntu katamutimo kafayo ukeyangisa amajahiko gana birubin haro amajahiko mengi muno amajahiko ga masimo gana gokurahiza nebinte bindi ebyo mulembe muno yahati ukatekereza muno ebyo ebitekerezo byabo karugo hakwega kandi kuno kakuboyega kwata umutima ebi bintu noja kubyihikya kuraba musente zawe ezorabo kozire abo kuboyegesibu ya so ningoza okubasaba ebyo kwetaga sente nyingi za pocket money kwetaga gena na masimo ebyo kwetaga engwe kwikana no hindurana ibyo bikuba biroti kibi bitahoro bitakwetagisibwa kuba nibitebwa muno mutima mu masomero akwa nibijja kuyakigendererwe kikuru ahambi ibiri musiga ore hambi ameja hiko ga masoka ameja hiko gukutera amasimati ga masutu ameja hiko ga masimo akasimo kali munsaho kagamba hati omwegesa ali na egesa yiwa soboka nkarukuja kusesa wamara dakika 10 nobaza amasimo bwire bwa class bwire bukusoma omwegi noja kuba no yiba. You are cheating yourself, you are betraying yourself, you are disorganizing the system, you are going to starve yourself. Yeah, oja ko isendara yokumanya abo kwata kutamtima kwega. Yes, engeso zetagisa kufanya kwetagisa kwekamba kwetagisa ningoza kwekambisa in that sense fayo gobtosa mun okukorana kurungi nabegesa bawe na bakuru bisomero obora botandikira kugenda nokora ibitekerezo byanu bigali hano itegereza kwata kurungi muzere wanyu kwa kusagiki yabo kuba needs to be inspired and motivated, encouraged okutaha kwa umutima ko okugonza omuko koine engozi no buhulizi no gwekambi no kukoraga emirimo when you have the time utakora ko mwirubali no komzad bitu obwiro kuba oroho ohumwire kukora emirimo kongeraho muka kihomzeire okufayo kutwara byonanzibwa no kurango nasemera kukora ekiyakora. I'm not going to let you to go for break before I conclude this. I'm about to conclude this to allow us go for break. But stakeholder number 5, I'm talking to the community. Abantu itembyaro nambe mubikaro kali hati utatali murubuga for poteo kanoga mambyara abantu natekereza no sobi nangwa hati twe olimi ruoka ruhinduka ekyano kyeta sel kandi okuboliyo ku magomboro ito no gamba village. So it's a question of the language, semantics, just basically bitumbyaro ni manisa the community where you are staying no burabonekana mu rubuga cyonke cyeke cyo kwekana mu mukao ni ngoza kucyeta cyara abo birabun that place. Ebyali ibinambira bege barukuruga, we have a role to play. Abana bano abege bantuze ntuboleka mu byaro byetu ngo kusoma kikuru babihura ntubebaza nibarora ntwekambisa abantu abyo kusoma nibaro tufayo mu nkurato za masomero nitusagika nkabebembezi nkabayikazi. Yes, ekyakabiri abege bana bakurugwa mu byaro byetu mu hariho otukubasagika tukagamba ngo ukamsanga nazana ukagamba kutagenzere mu isomero no gamba burinja gambira mzere wao bora botakufaya kusoma rundiki ukamwekambisa mlingo gwona ukamsindikiriza moyo murungi genda mu isomero akahura ngo community no bjonalisibwa bokwega akasumi akama na akamu tininyo bundi mbaserekere tininyo bundi mbalemeseza kusoma mubabudikire tininyo bundi ningamba aba babikora tilugamba buli muntu wenda wewe tininyo bundi mubaburanganiza mbahana amaro ndi netamiro obundi mbateka nebyekikuru mu byekikuru bitakwetagisa kandi bitasemirira abana aro community obustakonyera abantu abo mu community batakonyera so beitu tino byunanisiba habokuba kakubota konyero katunga abantu abegesibwe mu kichoka cyawe tolitunga muno kugenda mu maiso habokuba esagamerwa mu rusaro kugamba kugenda maiso no kurakurana kurugira mbanta abino bwongo butoyira habokuba basomere kandi oyina mu mukono kubekambisa bakasoma mulingo gumuno gundi no bota school fees betarumbi kale bindi na biro sobora konyeraho omwana lemerirwe kusoma family giyo borabona sobora inka community member kurungiho oyine kokotera mu mukono kubakwateraho tuguli msalaba gwawe yes beitu usefulness omugaso gwawe it has to be exhibited through that kind of support nibagambira ngo ikikorwa kimwe kitete cyembabazi kigambe ugambo bingi kukire byo mukano no it's very important so community katulinde kurungi abana bantusagika abana bantu tubahe security kwetagisa in the community and the support they need community mu abantu bengi mu abebembeze mu abantu akwikara mu konke mu abasayije mu abakazi mu singanta everybody akwikara mu kikale you have a role to play ku making sure ngo abana bekishoka cyo wanyu rune wenyine no muntu ndi wena yatunga kusagikwa ku mulingo gwona ngo okusoma kwa genda maisi kamalire nate aba media abebyamakuru hati obunda hano I'm playing my part, I'm doing my role ngoza kusima institution abukuba etero facility eno tujye tukore mu bintu so management ni kolekchoka cyayo mu byenyegesa by putting the facility in place to be used to educate send out the message of education and support neto resources ni tujye hano tukole bintu bino the media is acting that way by putting in place some of these institutions nka Fort TV kandi nokurora ngo harimo abantu nkanyowe nabandi abasora kujya bakabaza kintu kino cyo muhende cyo mugaso contribution ya media eriyo ni ekora but also kubazaga nabazeyiri mu ntekanize zitalizimu obundi no kubunga no masomero kubazana abebembezi nabegi nabegesa obundi no kubazana government obundi no kuhandika ebintu ebikwijja kusukura rundi kukonyeraho nambere obucheke bukuzoka okuboleka mu mulingo gwa magezi kusemerira ogurukwe kambisa no kuombeka not necessarily to ridicule but to positively expose and show that there is a gap here that needs to be addressed and encouraging the stakeholder concerned to address that media ne kolekchoka kote that way sometimes kandi harune binde butabugenda kurungi ebya abantu bagoza kuswekera the media brings them to light hato bari kukikora otashiyemu kakube bekoze professionally otashiyemu habuka kakoitwena turekana tusokera ebintu nebisiskara nicho wito kutugira rufumo nyine ko babyamira kalimi enyana ibyamire sawa why can't we have a break let's break off for a little while and come back.
Fort TV ikara osemerirwe.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you very much for reading my book, and I'm delighted, humbled, and excited to know that you still need more copies. We printed this book in South Africa, but we plan to print it in Uganda soon. At the moment, there are a few copies left. I have a few copies left. But when we print more, then we'll put them in the bookshops. That's all I can say, but I'm very happy, delighted, and humbled to know that you actually like and want my book. Thank you.
Ibara lyange ninyo Gilbert Kayondo omuchwambo muli abyoma former speaker of Fort Portal kandi nintwara omugisa guno kusima government ya President Museveni kandi ekitebe kya NRM abokurora bakatwa site kandi site eno byalinija ningira nkatunga omugisa nenyowomo ya charingire nkorato zona nka speaker kandi government yakatwa site eno tugisima muno kandi site eno teri yokugama nguyo muntu wa murundi babiri site yetu itwe n'abantu ba Fort Portal abantu nywena nimbasaba tugonzo urubuga rwaitu abembezi nyabrainywe leka tugonzo urubuga rwaitu leka tukore hamwe because no bokubo rugira mbwebembezi no sigaroli muikazi wa Fort Portal City so leka tukore hamwe kuratwa abembe ko urubuga rwaitu kandi urubuga turukombeke babembezi bonka urubuga ndrombeke buitwe n'abayikazi bo musito mu rubugomo kandi ninsabe nywena n'aba investors abantu nywena abari aheruka bainaka sente nyabrainywe mwije turole twayombe ko urubuga rwaitu ndusima aba investor abama baliyoni baija kuroro urubuga rundo agenda maiso nyabrainywe nimbasaba leka tukwatanirize hamwe itwena tuombeke our tourism city. Long live Fort Portal Tourism City.
Aino muntu we ata mwino mutino yekakuza kasagata ikikyabya mire obagende hopora obakwate noleka obatine nyamuraiwe bali kwiba norora tibaine mwanya kwawe bakaijuzaira borabo linzire ku parkinga sasura parking fees no parking enyanyika waho omugonzo muzemezo mulisa tabegomba banki balinzire oye change gempora oye panke noleka oye gonze no manyangu nenaga kyora mira ni waino mire bawe akaichura iwe urabo taine za parking please we yongere yo no parking enyanyika waho sisira bandi kitunde butunda sindike yake efire bature gikwate injini sindike yake oiro gihindule
webaleyo mkumara hoko webala Kik Romeo no parking atinduga mungu no parking no parking nkogamba hata bahubire bono bokusisa we nsemera kumkiramu obusumbuno tino mugisa kwa kyali bomezi tumanya tutegereza kumkiramu kukora kwekamba ese busakukererwa busakwebuzabuza busagratuta nabweki buli muntu yena oina kukora orubimbi rwawe obwire bona ko yena nekizine kindi kigamba ngu zinduko okole kikiwe kuhetera emambe sazire n'ebintu ebindi nk'ebyo. So naito hati mukukora emirimo tukora no parking tukusiba tukwemera tukora parking abuteto nkuba nkokumuraho baitu utagufora muse utagamba utatunga ubugaro utatunga kerero utatunga kuzabuza utatunga kosa yosa utatunga enkerereza procrastination. Avoid procrastination. Let's move forward and move very fast as much as we can. So tubere ntubazaho bya education nkigumiraho muno abo kurwacha akuba ukirkwija mande balaza begino gakomesomera abo kuba musingi ugurukonyera okutunga enkurakurana nk'abantu mo nkamaka nkihanga nkensi oburoba nogonza kurora okurakorana kwezorole ebinyegesa byayo nko kubiri. Education system ihanga liona niyo ekonyera kuteza ihanga eryo orutambo kugenda mu maiso. Mu kicheke kya kabiri kino kirimo obuchaka bubiri, two segments. One is kiro nka kin ebiro byokwezi nibyo rugamba bibiri okwezo kwa kabiri. Way back in 1990 something special happened. Many things happened, but one spectacular thing on this continent happened today in history. Aka kachweka ntekereza kakuru muno. Hali buriyo mhalito nitutenka abarkubibaza okubisabizaho na abarkuhuliriza na abarkwitegereza ibintu bino kikuru to reflect. By good coincidence, incidentally, or by good luck, byali ebiro kwezi bibiri okwezi kwa kabiri 19 cyali kironka kin. By the way, the day itself, it was Friday 2nd February 1990. Something spectacular happened on this continent. Yeah, you guess what? Oburukuba nosoma history yensi Africa. Ebe mabintu osobora kwijuka, abukuwa bingi osokta bijuka kwa mara. But one of the key things in the turara haihanga ya South Africa. Ihanga ya South Africa tukaba tuneyendema ihanga elyo lika obusumi obwo emyaka yekiendoku akabali abalemi abajungu. Nikwese gamba abajungu tinkweseza abangereza abakuba bali batabrain hakaba harumuna abadaki bakoragena abandi bazarine n'abarkwiragura sagame tabrain egyo nkugamba abajungu abandi bali bagenzereyo kara mu byobuzozi mu byokurambura mu byokoraki baikarayo emyaka nyingi abandi bali basalirwe yes betu barugire mu bujungu barugire bujungu. So nkoku tutekereza bagezi muno bayihawo sobozi no journalist okwembera n'abarkwiragura n'ababembezi bakabaliyo baitu abajungu tubagonzaga kuhamuno mugisa abarkwiragura kwetwara kwebembera munsi yabo kukola enchwamo munsi yabo kole byonkurakurana munsi yabo kuleka ngunu bakama bensi mu bujonanzi bokiro bwingi hati icyaletereza akasororanga ini abantu abake okugira ubujonanzi abantu bengi cyonka tuli ubujonanzi bwonka bwo kubebembera cyonka nebikwato nebyo kukozesa resources nubo kubirema bakabiye kwata bakabanke byabo personally or as a group kandi pakaturucha nebiragira ubonko kubali bataito ebiraba konyera kuteraga hamuto bali abengi bataija ku obundi kwa rabya mama iso tenkomanya obundi kuba kujoga cyortoro kugaya baitu obundi nabo kujya kutunga ubusobozi kandi omanyiro bokuba nogonza kuha umuntu obusobozi kumulemesa kwebembe no kwetwara maiso no gukora obujunanizi bwo bwenkurakurana wenda kumuha ibintu bibiri omuheho education okwegesiba omuheho na resources nka sente rundi byo binde kurwa msente. Those two elements are very important: education and economy, education and resources, financial resources. Hati ibyo mjungu akabikwata wakasumyako tubeta africana yes aba bajungu aba. So balema hati abantu abengi habo kuba tibakusemererwa mu batwere obusobozi bubona haro bakubihirwa bagonza kubatabukira kubetabukira hati nenyo ko kumulibake cyonka n'umukozesa amani mengi kuraba mu busobozi omwini so kubateraga muto kubabundazaga kubaculezaga kubabudika kubabundika kubaburanganiza no kubima okwegesiwa no kubasorora mulingo gwona kandi okutali moyo murungi hati ende mankege nibageta apartheid actually apartheid apartheid endemege akasoranga ine yakabereho mu ihanga lya South Africa mu busumi obw'emyaka ejo hakabaroho omwebembezi omujungu wabarkwiragura omulingo nkogo nkokugambire F.W. de Klerk hati ugu basira tuja kumurora hati no wakabaroho omukasumi yako F.W. de Klerk ni wakabali mulemi mukasumi yako ntujja kumbazaho kako mwetegereza kukiraho baitu mu South Africa bakaba bali bena ibitebe byendema ebitali bimu beteka ni manyo muno byali bibiri hati nka de Klerk akabali mu kitebe cy'ebyendema kirkweta National Party kandi abarkwiragura abarkwirwingi abasomera abagezi nabandi abakanagoza okuchungula ensiyabo kwembere ensiyabo cyonka tubakweba omugisa abaka abajungu ababahero resources no busobozi no abalema no mukono gw'ekyoma nkaba Nelson Madiba Mandela abo bakabali mukitebe kirkwetwa African National Congress ANC so ati abajungu bali tubagozaga ba ANC be mucyo mutwe babazeyo bakole kintu cyone kandi wazoka goteire mu bulyo olwamani muno bakukora omulingo gwono bwindi bakusindika mu nkomo kandi obolemesaga hakaba harono omulingo to liquidate you to pull you out of life bakuihamu ndini yatantale gambo kwita bitu ni kicho bakwita so bantu bingi bageze mu nkomo abugoza kurwanira no kutunga obusobozi no kwere marundi kwetwara munsi yabo. They wanted democracy, freedom, and indigenous leadership. No? Kuba mwiru bale mwihangalyaru ni mkayawo kiba kintu cho usalizi. So what happened today? Hati habantu awo. Nelson Mandela was very vocal and strong and wanted the independence for his country, for blacks to rule themselves. No baraba kabena abajungu kyonka barora na rwana muno kurora yahikirize kirote kichoketwara kwa South Africa bamsindika mu nkomo mu bizinga bya Robben tukweta Robben Islands. Robben Island hali kizinga kikoto kuli mu South Africa hali nkomo ya amani bamsindiko actually akamara myaka 27 mu nkomo 27 years in prison habwake giyone myaka habwokuba akanga koroberezibwa kuruga hansonga etukira kweta muramu wakono kuruga hansonga yokwetwara kwihangalyo wabo uwe nkomo habantu abateire mu bulyo abarkwebembera mu kuleta kugoza kuleta empinda yinduka bamugamba leka tukulekere cyonko tongera okabazaho ebintu bino bagendaga kumugambe byagamba nibyo kugamba murandekera ntabazaho byo kwetwara kwa South Africa abarkwiragura kwembera siyabo nangu no budeka nikalemo bamureka ikaramu bakamchora magezi mengi bamusona sona nebintu bingi bamutenisiza miringo nyingi baitu habukuba kaba nagoze nsi. He was really patriotic. Oku niko kugonza okwenso hatali kwebgambo konka akunkira kuri hano mu Uganda. Oku niko kugonza muntu gozi hangali hamutima no kweka na kuli fair yeah. So ogu omukuru Nelson Mandela bamutamu nkomo obu ndiyo ninja kukugambire cyabairo bibiri kwa kabiri kumurenda n'ekyenda betukambanze abaseja babiri bano mbakugalize ekisani kyabo bagalizeo ekisani kyabo. Nelson Mandela mu bwijwire amabaragino Nelson Rolihlahla Madiba Mandela akazaru 18 kwa msanju kumurenda 18 nuko ya zero miaka nyingi hejo kandi akafa 5 kwa 12 12 na afera mu rubuga Johannesburg mu South Africa akafera miaka 95 y'obukuru ogo Nelson Mandela akabali mu Rwanda obwongo no kurwana kukozesa ibikurwanitse bindi mugezi asomere nagozi hangali nagoza abantu be kandi mulizi wobusinga akasomerwa kama. It's not a contradiction. Mulizi wobusinga nicho at some point yatungire omwaka 1993 akatunga nekisembo cyo kumusima kakweta Nobel Prize habo kulinda obusinge mu South Africa habo kuba ekimu habintu ebyo akaba atakugendera kwita bali abajungu abakulemesa aba South Africa migogo ekyoma akana agozo kusinga bakoragana bekeranizi bakole government bona basobole kubamu ekya abajungu wala kwatakwenda ekya kabiri no byarugire mu nkomo bamulikire kurga mu nkomo hakiro kino kintu kugamba ekya bibiri okwa kabiri cyari kino kakino Friday okumurwenda nekyenda abantu bayingi bakaba nibatekereza ngu hati obyarwa mu nkomo yagenda kuhola enzigo okurwanisa abajungu abamwikeza mu nkomo kumala emyaka 7 okurwanisa abajungu ababundikire batulieza babuzabuza aba South Africa okurwanisa abajungu abakasoranga ine kabo which he did not do eti atakikole abamu abakutekereza batarugenda muno kuhama mitekerezo bamushemera bakamba abatinire bamugulirire kike kibereho rundi akadomera mu nkomo rundi bakamudamaza. They said a lot of things omanyire. People talk and you watch their steps. So baitu habukurwanira obusingo bunagonza abantu bona bekale munsi obuno obusingo ako nabana bantu gamba ba Afrikaners rundi bana abajungu ba Clark nabandi nabo bekazi bo mukikale ke bakaba mazira mu myaka nyingi hati nka FW de Clark akazalirwa nawe mu South Africa akabali muntu wa South Africa actually we Frederick William de Clark akazalwa munana okwa kasatu kumurenda 66 nazalirwa mu South Africa mu Johannesburg South Africa huko yaba mwebembezi wihangeryo kuruga kumurwenda kenana mwenda kwika kumurwenda cyenda nene. Yes yafi 11 kwa 11 ya 2021 almost ijwere buno kwa kutugamba mu rutoro takarabere myaka nyingi kandi akafera mkikaro cha Cape Town akafera myaka kenana netano eyo bukuru. So hati we Mandela akatakwenda kurwana na abantu abo abantu babalema no mugugwe cyomo hati Dr. Clark akabali we kitebe cha National Party ningira batunga kisana abantu abira abantu kubazao going back to today in history Friday 2nd of February 1990 in South Africa omwebembezi on FW de Clark aka kingura hati ekitebe ekya African National Congress na mbere Mandela na abakuru abandi even no mwebembezi wa South Africa nyakuroka somikano na mbere bakabali ba member kandi bembezi bacyo cyali kiterwe emhingo cyali kikingirweho ban had been banned hata li banning yokuocha nango kukinga kutanga utakora utagira utemchepindo karuka Ramaphosa nawe akabali member kandi mwebembezi mtebekena tumweta Ramaphosa usatumweta Ramaphosa so hata bembezi nkabo bakaba batachasobora kubaza kubaliza mkitebeke cha African National Congress ANC. But now this president FW de Clark lifted the ban after 30 years of non-activity, no activity of this party. And can look if I can use that. Yes, kawakita kusobora kukora emirimo yona bani ya miaka 30 so yagihao yakingurao yagamba ba member ba African National Congress you are free to transact. It's not business transaction really, but to do your work, to do your business activities, but peacefully. Kandi this one eventually led to the release of Nelson Mandela from the prison. Kandi nokutandi kwaho okumaraho endema egi eyakasororanga ine komrangi nokulema kwa abantu abake the minority rule and color segregation, apartheid. That was the beginning of dismantling of that apartheid. Apartheid was dismantled from that point of view. So ito kilo kikuru muno mu South Africa. That day was Friday, like today when I'm speaking about this. The date was like today, 2nd. The month was like today, February. The difference is the year. That one was 1990, this one is 2024. But the basics were the same. So today in history, very important South Africans celebrate this. Kandi newe nko Pan-Africanist, nkanywe na abantu abandi. Abatali limited by the localities. Nyewe tukumbohera cyaro hanzaro, ncho kurora nkazarwa mukasozi kengando mwihani cha mtasa mwengi bitundi forpoto ndi nombikale bindi. I have a lot of tentacles elsewhere those roots, so obundi buzalirwa tubuli nubukuru nubwo bwikaro kugamba hati nicyo echo nugwo mutima gutwine Afrika yono girole nke cyaro cyo wanyu nke kichoka cyo wanyu nke siyo wanyu get concern ekikuba mu Sudan kikukwateho kikuba mu South Africa kikukwateho ekikuba hand to hand hona ha continent ya abantu abakwiragura feel ngo your home is attacked uhakuba harohe kalembi kano harohe nungi feel happy your home is happy nokiraba mu hange rinde Tanzania Kenya or elsewhere nchukuloro bulemo nyakule mu Democratic Republic of Congo itaba kumanya ebyense nukukurugenda tukusemerero tosoga kasa dekabitingana abakongo nangwa we have a lot of relationships mu mulingo gumu ndio gunyu obwera betaliye sagama tuine kuteraniza abantu human beings first of all tuli bantu tuina kwikara tomiri kandi secondly relationship enkurana ya mahanga nesuburana nemikago egine etagisa thirdly by nature and color of the continent population tuli ba Africa we are Africans we are one people one Africa yes I understand that so ebyo byona nebindi nibisemera kukuletera mutema gogonza ensi yawe Africa so ebikuba mu South Africa we also celebrate 2nd February 1990 where celebration South Africa was lifting of the ban 30-year ban to African National Congress. Politicians were set free, the citizens were set free, the population was set free, but also dismantling of apartheid, that segregative rule of the white minority started crumbling, but also leading to the release of Nelson Mandela, who had spent 27 years in prison. Yes, at Robben Islands, because of being strong and patriotic and loving his country to heart, even to sacrifice his life. That one is very important. Tutekereza echo kintu kikuru ngondeze kwijukie kandi tukuli kwijukia kuonka theoretically and academically, but to know the essence. Habwake abantu behayo kuhika no kubakwata kubatamu nkomo habwa amahanga gabo hatalikwe kabuza ngu South Africa kunkwatira yone bakayange bakayoweitu so obura abanoli anonya hati nkaba Mandela bakabaina na sente habwake akabanekeza kumtamuko kumara myaka giyona bitu hati hicho kikabaho habokuba akabana akoze ihangalie ihanga kabaline hamutema tegereza kikuru muno so nicho hano mu Uganda ningoza kusima ababaze bigambe ebi love your country gozi ihangalie yawe but sometimes naba bibaza when you pipin osanga pipin la cyategereza nge osanga okuligonza kwabo kurohe kaguzo kandi okwanogozi ihanga lyawe likurakurane sente ziri kwijamu obundi muzeyohoize mu banka za heru oku mu Amerika na handi obundi ne misoro mugihira mu bantu bayicira kahamweko kusasula emisoro eyo mulingo gwona nuko baba hisente muzikozese mbyo bomeze mbya amaizi mbya amasomero nebindi kandi kichweke kotoka kitakujayo nikija musahuza abantu omomu ego kirungi kwe gudahaza abitunge ryoha aitunge ryoha okwanogoza abantu bawe ningira okuleka no bagonza niko kubaho obuhereza kandi obuhereza basasuliri kandi no boyohize sente kurga hero zeohize mu ibara lyawo. Governments borrow money on behalf of the population, on behalf of the citizens, on behalf of the people, and actually it is the people who pay back these loans. Hati no mu Uganda hano ibanje kwa siransa na haiguru nyo wanyakuroho no walija hanyuma yange omwiho no mwijukuru no bwijukuru bwa katano no bwa mukaga balirindo abafu no cyasasura ibanja elituina mu Uganda. And part of the reason this is happening, I'm plain and clear, is mishandling of the resources in the country, which we technically call corruption, which defeated almost everyone. Ntutagamani amashaka na mageza amashaka no kuyaye ekigambo cha kugonzi hanga lyawe kitali mu bigambo bugambo bitu mu bikorwa. Are we having a political will to fight corruption? Are we fighting it within ourselves, every one of us who is corrupt in one way or the other, and especially those who hand our resources? Are you doing that? Other than pinpointing to other people and so on and complaining about all these things. And you are custodians of these resources, but you are consuming them like hell, no? Tingambe gote ngambire numuziria kubi muno. Ito nugama manya hati we get a lot of misquotes, no? representations and so on. It is now that I've gone blind, but I'm clear about this. Na buli muntu wena kemanye no mwembezi wihanga handwali zamani situine tukwete kokora hano nubo busuma bwe bikwato bya government bwe bikwato bihanga sente nebyo bude bindi byona obusuma kwakwatansi na iguru omusaijo na rwino bule mu bwingi muno wekitinisa President Museveni beito obusuma bukurwanisa buli bwenguzi nokuru obulemo okurwanisa buli bwenguzi obusuma obuno bukurungutaniza bucyamulemeseze kangambe kandi nyikirize ngo nalengaho beitu abarukusika nabo barukwataniza nabo abamuhalibo baine mbajwibiri akarkwira na akarkwiragura kuna gambe your excellency turwane muno turwanisa corruption kuna gambe mpe cyange kun zuberezinga mpakune cyange so push and pull and so you can't go far in that direction. So but we can't lose sight, we can't lose hope. We can always support the efforts that are in place to fight corruption, beginning with our hearts, moral corruption and other types of corruption. So okugonzi hanga nikimanyisa ekyo okurwanisa obuchekenko. Finally, akachoka kakasatu in this presentation is teka tupikinge tuihe ijo nambe tugarukizege twagenda kuhira ijo nambe tugarukizege oburabo nijuko owaberegenanyo ijo oburabo ompondirege. If you followed, we concluded by discussing a few things on conflict in the world, global conflict. We are going to discuss that a little more because next week we are talking about something else. I'm talking about this. I'm here on Thursdays and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Like today, by 10 a.m. I'll be closing the chapter for this week for today, Friday. But before that, of course, we discuss a lot of other good things here. Program in this show is unique in its own way because it's multi-sectoral, it's touching here and there, but also its heart and beats of the heart are concentrating on this planet's welfare. It is carefully selected. This show is carefully selected to focus and to theme on protection of nature, protection of the environment, protection of our mother nature, of our mother earth. Because one earth, one chance. Sisensien or will. You need it badly, it doesn't need you at all. Because there are other things that can live on this planet without human beings. Ebimera tibiro, ebisoro tibiro, amaisi tigaro itaka tibiro, nebinte bindi byona tibiro. Hati oboro hansi hano, what are you doing? Kujombeka. Iwe ni wagihangire, ninyo na gihangire? No. Tino mgisa, some power created this, some some environment, some nature, you can say, but for me I can say God created this and placed it here for us and created us to occupy and govern it and rule it and use it and exploit the resources positively. But what are we doing? So, ekindio ningabangu kiri haliwe nokusemera nikisemera nyino bjonanizo kukora kurungi yese kugirinda kurungi to replenish it. Evgena ni hwamu tuongera tubyara evgena ni hwamu esambo takwitire olimanogaram nete birungi turkozesa tutabimara sustainable use of the natural resources that we have. And that's why we are saying show in omutima gwayo ni hoguli yao. And I'm doing this by passion, not by fashion. And the management here knows that this is the foundation of this show. My planet, your planet, our planet. And so we fight to protect it because it serves us better. One earth, one chance. Yes. So, Obolko 40 TV really hanum region in Obolkubi. Online, we are catching up with so many people. People are following. We have made many friends. We are doing marketing, and I actually remind you this morning that always do the bit you can to make sure you advertise with 40 TV. Follow us, download our app, and follow us and advertise with us. You know the shows that we have, but also consider My Planet as a show where you can comfortably now advertise as we talk. We can talk with the management, you can talk to me via my connections here, my contacts. I can even remind you of my phone number, which has WhatsApp and all other facilities. You can call, you can SMS, you can WhatsApp, you can even use my email address, but the phone now is plus 256 the country code, and the other numbers are 772 68 37 19. 772 68 37 19. You'll catch up with Kaligira Hamilton or Superhost Hamilton now for My Planet as a show. But also the email address is kaliegira2017@gmail.com. kaliegira2017@gmail.com. Catch up with us, advertise with us, give us business, we shall give you service, and you'll enjoy. People appreciate. We already have people who are doing business with us, and I want to invite you to do that. But personally also, I have other attributes that you can take advantage of. We can do other things when I'm off the mic here, I'm off this place, out there, and so you can catch up with me beyond here. Between even kugaba ni nyetaga tukorane kurungi kusaba tukorane mu institution yen ebintu byabigenda maiso ne bitu bigenda maiso bitu kwa tale hano ndi aheroku nsobora kora hamu emirimo endika kontera tukabazaho tinsobora kulemwa kukutera ebintu byabo hamutindo gwa higuru kukora business plans, project proposals, kukwindura bandiko translation kwa Mungereza mutoro Mungereza soko gukora nikikora hakwetegereza ngana kurungi mutual facilitation tokufera telukufera kandi yagoreza kufereza mugenzo wene mkoro yawe yekitinsa kege utakwetaka kugurukiza kuonka isoko kwebemberera as a director of events. So you can call me master of ceremonies because the commonest language used here in these places in Africa, but also intimseja mkuru imanye bintu bingi niwako wamsigazi na soko kukora wako wamanyiri hengeso yiti obusubwensi culture ningemanya nemitwalize n'oburomborombo nemirwa nyebembere by'obuswezi soko bembere omusigazi arugenda kugonza kuombeka amaka nimwebembera kumutwara mukayo mugurusi hantu rundi omuntu oli namwebembera neja nansanga ngo mugurusi kesizara bantu arukujja kumugabira omukazi n'ebyo obuswezi bakiranga buku ntubikora ibintu ebi kandi nibirugamu really nibirugamu kurungi muno kugesa kutendeka n'ebintu bindi byona nibirugamu na bintu bya media ntubikora ate bibibalize mpora you internalize them. 40 TV we keep you happy, and so we are moving on. We are doing the last bit of this show this morning with the Superhost Hamilton. Forget that note, meaning don't forget it. Okay, so global conflict part 2. Global conflict. Ensi eri mu bwemi bwa maani muno hati nohura. Just to remind you, hano mu Afrika honka tuyina obulemezi bwingi amalemu gakwasiransa na higuru. Mu Democratic Republic ya Congo okurwana tukakehaga haliyo ebitebe bingi bya bemi tukwese gamba bemi nkwese gamba rebels bitu kankwese gamba abarwanyi kale aba batakwetaga abargoza kuyaga mente nyakuro mulingo gwona rundi akwetaga mu bwebembezi bwihanga hali aba group yakweta mabere na isatu o movement ya bibiri kwa kasatu rundi abe na bisatu mwaka gwona gurakabaho ngam M23 na group sezindi hata noja kura government ya DRC negamba Rwanda bone yasagika group ezo na abandi nuko bati Rwanda is not happy, not comfortable with the DRC not comfortable with Rwanda, but also neitenka Uganda hali ekitebe cy'abantu huku bagoza kugire bahindura hano mu byendema mulingo gwabo ne barkwetaga cya ADF, Allied Democratic Forces ya Sudani norora mu masirimuka honka Sudani ya masirimuka South Sudan Machar na mgenzi woli mwebembezi ubuhanga lya Sudan nabo tebakukwatana kurungi bainamo bule mu munda esagama nabo nesese ko kubatoso orole Sudani ya masirimuka na Sudani ya ruguru ya Khartoum enu ya Juba haliyo bajeno ba mahe babiri hata kwebembera government mu bya mahe Burhan na William Sejondi Mamdan o Daglo bali mbule mbwamani abantu bengi emtwali 13 abali ha record yo kuba bayisirwe kurgo bulemo buno bucwekaho hagati yo kwakana mwako guhiri ya so abantu bengi bafiri abantu abatari hansi ya obwe 18 bararangire within the country and outside the country obwemi conflicts epumpu kurwana empaka obutetegerezangana kuhumirana conflict. Yes, tali hao honka hati norora Abaisraeli n'aba Palestina mu kicoka kya Gaza okurwana kwa sayansi na higuru abekitebe kya barwani aba Hamas n'abarwana n'Abaisraeli akwa aba Hamas bakazinduka musanje Oktoba mwaka goyi baramagera Israeli kuraba masirimuka kuli baguruke bikiro byona babisesa babiraranje baitabantu atali hansi ya 12 abatali hansi yabo cyonka nibakiraho bwingi kandi banyaga n'abantu barukira 280 babirikya bagaruka nabo kuno mu kicoka cy'abubu cya Gaza. Hati Abaisraeli bakaramaka kugenda kucungura abantu bano betu baramaga no genda kurenzuka bwake matuzindukire mwatwiteita abantu kandi begonza nyincakara muna abantu abandi akabali magenye gabo muza concert abantu abandi bacyahumuireho bukire sabiti nibagenda kuramya umanyire Abaisraeli akiro bwingi baramya mundamya ya Kiyudaya ya Kasumyako kandi no kuzarwa kwa Yesu kwaberireho. That was the kind of worship as Saturdays tukweta Sabbath, which is tomorrow for example. My other name is Saturday, by the way. My elder brother, who is no longer now, who his soul may rest in peace, no Naziru Hakireke mukuru wetu yandukiriba lero no ndaba ntalikoze samuno ndikahinduka habwe handiko byo kusoma nebite bindi alphabet numbers and the rest we had to amabara gandi kugeleka the background betito nakigamba kukoleka ngo bakabazindukira kireke abantu batekenda weekend bahumwire babazindukira omanyire kitetegekera uyomba ngo kuyerukira omukaro ni enyame talikero ndiye yomere kuboya kurungera kunurege bagicumba hati yente zitakaruye ko kuzurwera hati betuyemba bakaguhungurita gweteganize yiruka kandi yembo egonza mune enyame kuyeta gwirukire so hati kromanise kabetetekanize hati nabana besalero bale batetekanize bahumwire kurunga sabit atekaine kuja kuhura ni bagwerwe hano ni babasara maguzi ni bateri msingana bomu ni babiteita manu gauka kabiri sagama netaraka ne serious ne fakabiri. So conflict between Israel and Palestine in Gaza Strip, conflicts all over the place. Lebanon kuli abarwane ba Hezbollah nabo ni bateri Israeli kuli amano gauka kabiri akisindikira kompala Israeli ni yanukura. Hali abarwane ba Houthi kuli mu Yemen nabo ni bahurenzigu aba Hamas ni barwanira aba Hamas nabo bolekerize ni bahahaza Israeli. Banywani Israeli nka Amerika, Bungereza, France na mahanga gani ni balenga kujya in between kukonyera Israeli kutagizinda kutagimaraho. Conflicts all over. Dora hali Russia ikachwanganiza hali ya tahira Ukraine hati miaka ibiri, I think it was February, yeah? Ntugenda kujuka miaka ibiri nyakwijwiri kuruga Russia itahira Ukraine. They're going to have an anniversary, a 2-year anniversary, one of these days, was it 24th? Yeah, 24th February. Yes. 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine. Boja barasha besira nyoncho besira abana bakaza kwekura abagurusi abasirikali abana bahwerekerize bintu binge msiri bajokeze byombe ko babatire bomu amahano gagwira kabiri basire damu za amaizi gabogere nkenyanja manya hali amahanga agakuzireho mulingo gwago gene ko gahura amaizi gabo reserves enkoto muno ito kuno mu Uganda ni tatu ino buceke bukutayahura kwetekanirizo obusumi obumu bwecyanda nibura lyebintu. For example, Jinjoku, I'm diverting a little bit to give you the insight here. To be very carefully, kumara nkihanga. I'm neither saying we are careless, no what, but we are not careful enough. Twakwe tuine tanka eza magita gebiruka naga makuru. Tuine tanka ntetetu amagita ugarumu capacity za tanka zetu zinganake, the reservoirs zinganake. Milioni na milioni za lita za magita tukazahura ziriyo kakubagabura ntubatuta mehenda tukweyongera na amaizi nicho kimu nebyokuli nicho kimu. Should be having national silos enguli zihanga tutine, because we have planning issues and yet we have national planning authority. Of that one, back to global conflict. Ebyo nkozere sampling kukoleka conflict nkokuzire. I went global, but domestically look at your home, your family, your place, your village, your sub-county, your district. We have lots of conflicts in here, even politically, even socially, economically, and other ways, including morally. Bandoga yakungani achiena bagira batakurwana ibisaka kutemangana kuchumtangana oni hambra mkamsaija mkwatana, all this kind of stuff which is disheartening. So conflicts causes, yesterday we discussed to some extent conflict umaze kuchitegereza, of course umaze kijuka kandi utakemanyire iyo atakemanyira ati ukitegereze kutekeraniza kumerana okwangangana kurwanisangana kutwazangana kubi kushemerangana sikamuguhegenya gumangaini kurwa muno bwemi no kwitangana kusesesagama ebigireta bingi ntura political dimension na ideological dimension ebyendema mtakwikiriza mbyendema mtakusana hata nka hano mu Uganda tuna these conflicts of political parties ekitebe kireme KNRM tikine buzale burungi nebitebe bindi bisigaire kiramune ekitebe kya National Unity Platform NUP tinugenda muno politically in that direction, but I'm giving you the examples of the political ideological conflict. Yes, abantu bwende kwa kutekereza ebintu ko kubyageze mbyendema NRM ine ko kola ebintu byamu byendema na ba DP nabo bageze ko kubagizire cyonka nintina DP na UPC bayine ko ku bagizire bagarukiramu mulingo gumurundi ogundi getting over penetrated. I think it's deliberate from the ruling party, I'm sure, but also the other people are strategically not doing well in terms of party building, because they can always be pulled out gradually. But conflict is zero. Hati FDC, Forum for Democratic Change, tuna factions ibiri, tuna faction loyal to Katonga, na mbere hali ayatandikira FDC omukuru Dr. Kanogiza Besigye, baba Lord Mayor Lukwago and other people, Katonga faction. We have also Najana Kumbi faction with omukuru Ogu, Patrick Oboy Amriat. So nabagenzi be banandala Mafavi and other people. So conflicts within the political parties in the country. That's the, when I say the best, I'm not saying Kirungi, but in the best and easier example for you to see the conflicts here. So obtekeraniza mumikore, obtekeraniza mubyendema, obtekeraniza mubitekereze bitalibimu, obtekeraniza koko bintu birahonderana, obtekeraniza no asemerire kuba mukuru, no asemerire kuba president, no asemerire kuba mukonyezi, obtekeraniza endema yekitebe kinu tekulema kurungi nasemera kuija henu, obtekeraniza no hakulema resources are controlling resources zihanga to exploit the resources to benefit the country, but people are resorting to benefiting themselves individually, their families and communities out there. So ati hao mubyendema haruho bulemu ebi byona nibireta iyo olirira rugama nanyo wenjiyemo rundi otanyera hinyo kamara kwate cyane. So many decades I'm in, so don't come or come slow, things like that. But the other side is saying, no, I'm coming, it's too much, you have overstayed, and all these conflicts, things of that sort. So ebikubireta bingi netekereza zindi za dini, ezindi za culture. So betubike bikurugamu, really I want to conclude on this one as time is almost running out. The third break I will give you is when we are concluding. Be patient with me, because at 10 o'clock we shall be signing out and we are about to get there. So be patient with me, kindly as you usually do. Hato weme bubaho niho iziro rufumo ruli rugamba ngo na mbere njojo irwanira obunyansi nibo bucweka, na mbere njojo irwanira obunyansi nibo cyamanano yiwo liro no uzakuba nkokezo zonka kuko senko koromies kakwezwa nirwana kwa mzugata samanga ngada niguruka nsokorake usanga na mbere zirwanira akacucu bundi kaimukire itaka lirarangire otunyaso tunturarangire betato kubiteka habsole bikoto nkente nenjojo hati nambe kurwanira definitely nibisigika nibikora ko binyasi ruceka hati enjojo ibiri turugamba nibaba obusobozi ndi abantu abamani baba nibarwana rundi bakungana nibakoraki nibatwara obwire mu bintu ebyo binyasi oburukuceka nito abantu babulikiro nituceka tuta abantu nibafa hati cyokurora mu Sudan abantu bengi bafire ko kungambire mu Ukraine nico kimu mu Gaza kuli Middle East nico kimu nebikale bindi byona abantu babulikiro nibafa nabatenda musango like in Gaza abantu bengi abafire bana n'abakazi habokuba abo akusema kakiro bwingi tubarwerwana tubine mani agebientashe tubine mani agebikwata byokurwanisa militarily tubine mani aga economic power resources sentes okuruka gena myonye gena mahanga gandi so the dependence in most of the cases nibegamira muno habebembezi habakuru habanyineka hati abakurwana obulemu kwa science na iguzo so ebikurgamu abantu nibafa sagama neseseka ekyakabiri enkurakurana neremu abantu akwikani bakungana nibarwana tebakora they don't work even at family level obulirora okarolieka niwikani bakungana nyineka na nyina bwenge na abana naki niwekana mu pumpu morale iri hansi tibarkugenda kukora busa there's no motivation for work or for working and therefore no resources, no harvesting, no income, no development. So, emirimo nefa entasha nesisika obusinge nububura. Abantu abatena businge tubakora tubakwataniza tubakora korana disunity kwebaganizamu nikwe yongera enduru nempamu no bwiko. So bino byono kuba nibijja no kwitangana kuro. It's the thread running through. Tumusobora kwikana mu Rwanda nimukungana mukakora mukagondezanga no businge. No. Every other person wishes the other one dead. Kati enyekana kege nebe tarkombeka eka tarkombeka ihange tarkombeka kikaro. So a lot of negative effects are happening under development. No kusoma tuwarkusoma. Habana fisi zirarugato murukora marawa hiraragi. Habandi nabo nibairuke pumpo injakulimahanga. They fall out of school, drop out of school. No education, no nothing. Nabegesa tuwatekene tuwena businge because of conflicts and so on. Na masomera gandi nigakinga. Nejuka conflicts zinyakutahana mu-sub-region ebyo abaireka sese kuli mpondo rubiria masomero abanyazugo batahirire kuli baitabege bakorake. So you can't, there are a lot of things that are happening. So under development, no peace, no nothing, no social cohesion. Enkurakurana bojo terkuba mulingo gwona. Na abantu nibeyongera kuba babi nibeyongera kuba bahungu. Kandi niharugwa muno busuma. Bano barkuwa nibaliyo nibarwana bano nibayiba nibasombora nibakwaso gwa kanyuma nibakora. Abandi niberita na sente kuzia mahanga gabo kugenda kuzahura heru kwe hunikiro oko akona gamba kiratera rundi kagira cho nkwateguli sente zange kasita ziriyo mu bank mu hanga nanka account ziriyo. So exploiting or stealing the national resources. Sente za kwenye zombe kama mahanga nizibwa habwa conflicts. But finally, what do? Can we keep our fingers crossed? Can we keep quiet about it? Keep looking on as if we're not alive, not there? No. One other thing that we can do is to talk against these things. To talk against them. It is too much. Why can't you live with that? Dole bikurugam. Abana nabakazi nibafa. Abantu babulikiro nibafa. Entasha tero. Obwemi bwonka nuburo. Enkurakurana tero. Why are you fighting? Why can't you resolve these things amicably? Why can't you negotiate? Why can't you discuss? You know? Why can't you do that? You see, kwikiraniza kuruga mkuhanura. Okuhanura na mbere kutali kwikiraniza tukubaho. Our leaders in the world are not sitting to discuss, to agree. Disagree to agree eventually. Hakubanza mkuhanura msokutikiraniza kintu numtezangani mpaka numkora. But at the end of the day, you should agree for the good of your countries, for your good of your continents, for the good of the world. You know, we need to do that. And if we don't, it's very dangerous. We are represented by many people, the leaders, presidents, ministers, members of parliament. When things are not going right, you are part and parcel of those challenges. You are negatively contributing because you are not contributing a solution, but rather the opposite, which is unfortunate. And we think we have to talk. As the media, we have to talk. As individuals, we have to talk. As patriots, we have to talk. Yeah. And as civil society, we also have to talk. I'm in civil society out there, so don't get surprised about that. We have to talk. And don't kill us for talking, because we are talking to build. We are talking to contribute positively to that effect. And so every one of us has a role to play. Ningoza kusima Fort TV, for putting this facility in place, to have our voice go through, to express our concerns, to help rebuild our country, but also to help resolve conflicts as well. The media plays a big role, but sometimes the media is misused. Sometimes and by some people, and in some cases, not always and not all over. So the media fraternity, the media colleagues, in the partnership, we need to be strong. We need to always make a contribution, a positive contribution to build peace in our countries. They put us out of context in some cases. Hako interests abantu ezimu tuzirubataho, tuzitalwaniza. But we cannot keep quiet. Paulo nagamba tukale mukibinu kwembabazi sage ziti ngumahana ekyo tekisoboka. Nyine kuba byamira kalimi enyana ibyamira esabu. I'm preparing to sign out. I want to use this opportunity to really thank you, because I hold you tight in this discussion, in this show. And you don't go out moving, you don't go working, you keep focused on this discussion, because we are talking about our planet, your planet, my planet. One earth, one chance. I'm sending out. Bye-bye.
Enyanyika waho, no.